Good morning. Today we'll see what is electromagnetic wave propagation. Okay. So we'll have different type of medium. Sometimes it can be free space, be a lossless dielectric or a lossy dielectric or even conductor. So we aim to solve for electromagnetic waves in the following mediums. So considering a free space, you can see that in free space the value of conductivity is equal to 0 to epsilon 0 and mu is equal to mu 0. Considering a lossless dielectric, the value of sigma is not equal to 0, approximately equal to 0, epsilon is equal to epsilon 0, epsilon r, and mu is equal to mu 0, mu r. If it is a lossy dielectric, sigma is not equal to 0. Again, epsilon and mu hold the same position. Then for a good conductor, the value of conductivity will be tending to infinity, and epsilon is equal to epsilon 0 and mu is equal to mu 0 into mu r. Only thing is, you have to understand which type of medium is this and what are the conditions in this particular medium, so that if we are having a standard expression, you can substitute all those values in that and get the equation for the respective conditions. So as a standard equation, we will consider the lossy dielectric medium. So we are going to see the wave propagation in lossy dielectric, and with this as the standard, we will proceed for the other three cases. Okay, so this is a general case from which we can arrive at the other conditions. A lossy dielectric is a medium in which an electromagnetic wave, as it propagates, loses power owing to imperfect dielectric. Consider a linear isotropic free lossy dielectric charge-free condition. You're having the epsilon 0, epsilon r, and to start from the scrap, that is from the wave equation, generalized wave equations. So hope you remember the wave equations. Consider that is del square E is equal to mu into dou E divided by dou T plus mu divided by dou T square. So the value of del square E, sigma dou E divided by dou T minus epsilon mu into dou square E divided T square is equal to 0. Let this be the equation number 1. Now, if E is equal to E0 e raised to j omega t, then dou E divided by dou T can be written as j omega E as per the phasor form, and dou square T square can be written as j omega square, that is j omega square E, which is equal to minus of equation number 2 and 3. Now we can substitute the equation number 2 and 3 in your equation number 1, that is del square E minus sigma mu into dou E divided by dou T divided by dou T square equal to this equation, that is del square E omega mu into sigma plus omega epsilon into E. I am taking the E outside, which is equal to 0, plus omega square mu into term as del square E minus this term is gamma square E is equal to 0. You remember this the Helmholtz equation. So the term gamma square from this equation, which is a propagation constant gamma is a propagation constant, gamma omega mu into sigma omega j omega mu term for the propagation constant that was already discussed, j b, the value of propagation omega epsilon. And how will you define this alpha and beta? Alpha is known as the attenuation constant. That also we have discussed. Alpha is the attenuation constant, and it is defined as a constant which indicates the rate at which the amplitude of the gates from one point to another. So attenuation defined as a constant which indicates the rate at which the amplitude of the wave is 1 point alpha. Now coming to the next term, that is beta. Beta is the phase constant. This or the amplitude of the wave reduces exponentially, that is in terms of e raised to minus alpha, defined as a constant which is, and it is usually denoted as radians per meter, or and the case of alpha it is denoted as nepers per meter or decibel per. You can consider here that is alpha or nepers, the unit is nepers. Beta is defined as a constant which indicates the rate at which the wave changes phase, and it is equal to root of j omega mu. Now what happens when the two sides are squared? So squaring both sides, we get the value alpha plus 2j alpha beta is equal to j omega mu sigma minus omega square mu e. Into equate real and imaginary terms, equating real imaginary real terms, alpha square minus all the equations. We know that the equation alpha square plus beta square is equal to root of alpha square minus beta square the equal to root of alpha square minus beta square the whole square beta square. Now continue here itself. From this, the term alpha square can be as alpha square minus beta square the whole square is equal minus omega square mu into epsilon the whole square for mu. So 2 alpha beta the whole square mu into sigma the whole square. From this, alpha square plus beta square is equal to, you are going to express in terms of plus omega square mu into sigma square. Mu square sigma square, omega square mu square sigma square. And alpha square minus beta square, it is equal to minus omega square mu into epsilon. So let this be the equation number C and this one is D. So adding equation C and D, adding C and D, we will get alpha is equal to, this terms are very important, you have to by heart this, omega into root of mu into epsilon divided by 2 into root of 1 plus divided by omega square epsilon square minus 1. is known as the value of attenuation constant, omega into root of mu into epsilon by 2 into root of 1 plus sigma square by omega square epsilon square minus 1, omega into root of 2 1 plus sigma square epsilon square plus 1. So one is plus and the other one is minus. So these two terms are very important. So you have to study this as a standard expression. Alpha and beta, that is attenuation constant. Velocities, that is white light through a prism, but it is a combination of different colors. The velocity of blue will not be equal to the velocity of yellow and will not be equal to the different frequency components in a wave travel with different velocity. So u represent the speed of the wave. U represent the speed of the wave, speed or the velocity of the wave. The value of u is equal to omega by beta. U is equal to omega by beta. Speed of wave ആണ് u വെച്ച് represent ചെയ്യുന്നത്. U is equal to omega by beta, and the wavelength of the wave lambda is equal to 2 pi by beta. This is very important. 2 pi by beta, and that is lambda or the wavelength. U is equal to omega by beta, that is the speed of the wave. Now there are different types of velocity. One is the phase velocity and the other one is the group velocity. So what is a phase velocity? Phase velocity is represented as u suffix p, and the group velocity is represented as u suffix g. So this up and ug. Ug is equal to, or you can define this phase velocity and group velocity, or the terms relating to the group and phase. That is, phase velocity means it is the rate at which the phase of the wave propagates in space. It is the rate at which the phase of the wave propagates in space, and it is the apparent velocity. It is the apparent velocity with which a wave appears moving. It is not the actual velocity, it is only the apparent velocity, so that we are feeling that it is moving with that particular velocity. It is the apparent velocity with which the wave appears to be moving. The value of the phase velocity is greater than or equal to c. You know that c is the velocity of light, so which is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Okay, so what is group velocity? Group velocity is the velocity with which the overall shape of the wave amplitude. So wave amplitude, total wave in the amplitude determine cheyidana group velocity, allengi adine define cheyyunnadana group velocity. So it is the actual velocity, it is the actual velocity with which a wave travels in a medium, with which a wave travels in a medium. So the value of ug or vg, sometimes it will be represented as u or sometimes v. Ug is less than, very less than the free space velocity, that is the velocity of light, and ug is approximately equal to c cos theta. Ug is equal to c cos theta, that is the theta is obtained from a waveguide. Waveguide is nothing but a medium where the waves are traveled. Sometimes in your home you'll have the internet connection. This internet connection is mainly might be through the optical fiber or through your local networks, etc. So that whatever medium is considered is known as the waveguide. Okay, so in this waveguide you can roughly show the figure also. So these are the phase velocities UP, and the total velocity here this side can be denoted as the group velocity. This space is known as the lambda or the wavelength, and these angles represent theta. This is the total speed of the wave. So this is what about the group velocity and the phase velocity. Now we'll see, already we have considered the wave propagation in a lossy medium, and we got the values of alpha and beta for a lossy dielectric medium, which you consider as the standard equations. And from this standard equation you are going to derive the other equations for the other three mediums in free space, in a free space and lossless medium. We can consider this together, free space and lossless medium. We have alpha. Alpha is equal to root of omega square mu into epsilon divided by 2 into root of 1 plus sigma square divided by omega square epsilon square minus 1. And similarly, beta is equal to root of omega square mu into epsilon by 2 into root of 1 plus sigma square divided by omega square epsilon square plus 1. Now, if sigma is equal to 0 and alpha is equal to 0, we can consider this condition for free space. That is, in free space the value of mu is equal to mu 0 and epsilon is equal to epsilon 0. Or the other condition is sigma approximately equal to 0 and the value of beta is equal to omega into root of mu into epsilon. So see here, in case of free space the value of sigma is equal to 0, mu is equal to mu 0 and epsilon is equal to epsilon 0. So when here this term becomes 0, the value get cancelled, alpha get cancelled. That is why when sigma is equal to, if sigma is equal to 0, alpha is equal to 0, mu is equal to mu 0 and epsilon is equal to epsilon 0, alpha term illa. We have only the term beta. But in a lossless medium it is approximately equal to 0, whereas mu is equal to mu 0 mu r and epsilon is equal to epsilon 0 epsilon r. So we have to substitute the initial conditions. From the starting of this video we have shown the certain conditions for the four mediums. We have to substitute the conditions in alpha and beta, and then we will get the equations. Okay, now we will see what is intrinsic impedance. The term intrinsic impedance. You will need it in solving problems. It is the ratio of square root of permeability to permittivity of the medium. It is a ratio of square root of permeability to permittivity of a medium. That is, eta is equal to root of mu divided by epsilon, or it is equal to j omega mu divided by sigma plus j omega epsilon. You have different formulas for this. Or it is equal to E divided by H, that is electric field intensity divided by magnetic field intensity. Now in free space you will have a definite value for this eta. Eta is equal to, that is, instead of mu and epsilon you will have mu 0 divided by epsilon 0. So which is mu 0 is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 divided by epsilon 0 is 8.85 into 10 power minus 12, which is equal to 120 pi, or it is equal to 377 ohm. So it's a standard value for only for free space. Intrinsic impedance in free space is a standard value, that is 377 or 120 pi ohm. Okay, so we'll now see the other two conditions. Consider the ratio of conduction current density to the displacement current density. Let us consider sigma by omega epsilon. That is a conduction current density to the displacement current density. Now, if sigma by omega epsilon is equal to 1, it is a dividing line between the conductor and the dielectric. It is the border between conductor and dielectric. Now again, if sigma by omega epsilon is greater than 1, then it shows that it is a good conductor. And if sigma by omega epsilon is very much less than 1, it shows that it is a good dielectric. Okay, so we are going to assign certain conditions for this good conductor and dielectric. Now we'll see the condition for a good dielectric first. For a good dielectric, the value of attenuation constant alpha is equal to, again I am taking this omega value outside, mu into epsilon divided by 2 root of 1 plus sigma square divided by omega square epsilon square minus 1. So in this again, sigma by omega epsilon for a good dielectric is very much less than 1. So the term root of 1 plus sigma square divided by, that is the term root of 1 plus sigma square divided by omega square epsilon square is equal to 1 plus sigma square divided by omega square epsilon square raised to half. Root or the half are the same. So it is similar to the binomial series. Consider 1 plus x raised to half, that is a binomial series, which is 1 plus x by 2 plus etc. Okay, you know it's a binomial series, you have already studied it in mathematics. So we are going to apply this here. So 1 plus sigma square divided by omega square epsilon square raised to half will be equal to 1 plus sigma square divided by 2 omega square epsilon square, because it is 1 plus x by 2. So on solving this, you will get 1 plus sigma square by 2 into omega square epsilon square. So we will substitute it here. Therefore the value of alpha is equal to omega into root of mu into epsilon divided by 2 into 1 plus sigma square divided by 2 omega square epsilon square minus 1. So the value is equal to omega into root of mu into epsilon by 2 into sigma square divided by 2 omega square epsilon square. And on solving this, you will get sigma divided by 2 into root of mu divided by epsilon. So that is the value of alpha considering a good dielectric. Similarly, the value of beta is equal to omega into root of mu into epsilon divided by 2 into root of 1 plus sigma square divided by omega square epsilon square plus 1. Again you can solve this and you will get the expression as omega into root of mu into epsilon divided by 2 into 2 plus sigma square divided by 2 omega square epsilon square. So the next step is omega into root of mu into epsilon 1 plus sigma square divided by 4 omega square epsilon square raised to half. Again it is similar to the expression 1 plus x raised to half, that is 1 plus x by 2 plus etc. So beta is equal to omega into root of mu into epsilon into 1 plus sigma square divided by 8 omega square epsilon square. Okay, so that is the value of alpha and beta considering the case of a good dielectric. Now we'll see the case of a good conductor. For a good conductor, sigma by omega epsilon will be very much greater than 1. So we have the propagation constant gamma. We have the propagation constant gamma is equal to root of j omega mu into sigma plus j omega epsilon. ഇവിടെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഗാമ വെച്ച് സോൾവ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഈസി. സോ ഗാമ ഇസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു റൂട്ട് ഓഫ് ജെ ഒമേഗ മ്യൂ ഇൻറ്റു സിഗ്മ പ്ലസ് ജെ ഒമേഗ എപ്സിലോൺ വിച്ച് ഇസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു റൂട്ട് ഓഫ് ജെ ഒമേഗ മ്യൂ സിഗ്മ into 1 plus j omega epsilon by sigma, which you can write as root of j omega mu into sigma, because when sigma by omega epsilon is greater than 1, then omega epsilon divided by sigma will be less than 1. So this term can be eliminated. So which is equal to root of omega mu into sigma into root of j. Root j means j is used to rotate a vector through 90 degree. So root j means it will be rotating through 45 degree. So we can write this as root of omega mu into sigma angle 45. So alpha is equal to root of omega mu sigma cos 45. How you obtain this cos 45? Because if you are representing it as a phasor, this is alpha and this one is beta, and this is your gamma value, omega mu into sigma, root of omega mu sigma angle 45. This is how it appears, which is equal to cos 45 is equal to 1 by root 2. So root of omega mu sigma by 2, that is the value of alpha. So since alpha is equal to omega mu sigma cos 45, then the beta value will be equal to root of omega mu sigma sin 45. So beta is also equal to root of omega mu into sigma by 2.